The LA Kings, they're falling. And granted, they have not fallen out of the race completely yet. They're still technically holding on to that third spot in the Pacific, but the Kings are just 4-4-2 in their last 10 games. They've lost 3 in a row. They were up 3-0 on the Minnesota Wild before giving up 6 unanswered goals. Vegas, on the other hand, 7-3-0 in their last 10. They are 2 points back of the Kings with a game in hand. Frank Seravalli. Last week, it looked like the Vegas Golden Knights were pretty close to dead and out of the race. All of a sudden, they have a realistic shot at making the postseason here.
Yeah, they do. The Los Angeles Kings have really opened up the door for Vegas to sneak in. Part of it's been injuries for the Los Angeles Kings, certainly missing Drew Doughty hurts, among other players that have been out of their lineup. But man, it felt like 2 weeks ago, this was all locked up 3 weeks ago. And now it's basically a dead heat. If you look at some of the models that are out there, I always use hockeyviz.com, and Micah Blake McCurdy, who does a fantastic job. He says the playoff odds at this point, basically 63% chance for the Los Angeles Kings, 56 for the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't know how that works with both those teams being above 50%, maybe a little wild card help from the other side in the Central, but still, it's way more interesting than we thought it might be. And I just happen to take a look at the schedule that's remaining for the LA Kings. It's certainly a bit tougher for the Vegas Golden Knights down the stretch. You've got one game against the Colorado Avalanche left if you're the Kings, but you've got Chicago twice. You've got Seattle. You've got the Anaheim Ducks twice. The Vancouver Canucks, by the last game of the season, should be out of the playoff picture. The Columbus Blue Jackets, who are out of it in the East. I don't know. It still seems to me like the Kings are the team that's in the driver's seat here, and still some work to do for the Vegas Golden Knights. But man, they've made it way more interesting than I thought.
Yeah, Vegas, 9 games remaining, 4 against non-playoff teams, and the rest of their schedule is Calgary, Edmonton, Washington, Dallas, and St. Louis. And you mentioned the LA Kings, 8 games to go. 7 of those are coming against non-playoff teams. So it's interesting because the injuries are maybe starting to catch up to the Kings a little bit. When you look at the fact that they were missing, or for a time, they're missing 5 of the D-men that they started the year with in their top 6. It's crazy that they were able to battle through that for as long as they did. And from Vegas's perspective, they're one of those teams that, I mean, obviously with me up here in Edmonton, a lot of people who follow the Oilers are going, hey, make sure LA gets in because we don't want to touch a healthy Vegas team in round 1 of the playoffs.